Hey, Scott Russell. It's Easter time here in Australia. A lot of people are with family, with friends, enjoying each other, and I wanted to put this little video attached here to just remind us to keep on keeping on, keep going. It's so easy to look at the junk that's going on and want to quit. And we can see lots of obstacles or we can see solutions. And I think we are so prone to see the problems, and a lot of people get to the point you don't want to get out of bed in the morning because there's just so much going on. It's like, I just want this world to go away. But not really. And I think everything's geared, as I've said before, to create a victim thinking in us. And even when you're a victim, if you start thinking like a victim, you're dead while you live. You have to rise up and say, yeah, I'm a victim, but you know what? This is propelling me onto another path. This is showing me there's a better way. This is taking me to where I need to go. And there's so many people that are sitting in their misery, sitting in something that's not right for them because, well, somebody else's fault, or it's too much effort, or I keep saying it. How many people are in the wrong place with the wrong people doing all the wrong things, instead of taking responsibility and saying, yep, it's an effort. Yes, it's a lot of maybe disruption to life, but how much do you value your life? And I think it reminds me of when I was in Boston. I lived in the US for 18 years. I'm dual US citizen. And part of when I was living in the Boston area, I ran a Christian nonprofit. And I wanted to put a TV programming on Fox, the local Fox affiliate in Boston, and at the time they refused. They said, we do not accept religious broadcasting. It's not something that we have. And I thought it was a bit unusual that Fox was saying that, but now I'm faced with walk away or rise up with the challenge, and I love a good challenge, especially when there's a bit of mischief in it. And I long story short, I got a program on Fox, and 30-minute program in the middle of the night, and after doing that, it opened up the way where a lot of religious broadcasting was then allowed on Fox. And when we see injustice, when we see something that shouldn't be, it's very easy to rise up and go. And we can either see problems or we can see solutions. And I'm wanting to say to you today directly, there is a way for you. No matter what they're throwing at you, they want you to be a victim. They want you to feel sorry for yourself. They want you to feel ripped off, because when you do, you're a victim. And when you think like a victim, when you walk like a victim, the whole mentality of your life changes, and you'll never reach the destiny and the fullness of where you're supposed to be. Rise up, take control of your own life and say, you know what, I need to do this. This is something that matters. This is something that's just and right and needs to be in my life. The second thing that you do when you're on that path is don't let emotion get a hold of you. Because when I was doing this thing with Fox in Boston there, I could have got offended. The things they said were so unjust and so wrong. And I could have got offended, and if I'd have got offended, I could have made a point. But it's not about me. It's about what we need to get done. And if you're not able to lay aside your insecurities, your fears, you're doomed. Because the global agenda is to use offense to keep you under control. I remember somebody that had great depth in their life, really, and I was encouraging to step up in spirit. And they would come and talk conversations with me, and it would always be offense. I saw this week. I saw that this week. And I would interrupt them. And it was in interrupting them, they thought I was rude, I was arrogant, I was a chauvinist. But what they couldn't see was I was trying to get through to them. Leave it alone. Who cares what they're doing? I see answers in you. Here's a woman. I could see answers in her. I could see hope in her. I could see that there was so much more in her. But what did she do? She got offended in the fact that I cut her off, offended in the fact that I didn't allow her to keep going along with that because I saw better in her. But how do you say that to somebody? And you can, but it depends how offended they get. And my point is, so many of us are offended at what they're doing, and rightly so. It's so offensive. But if we live in that offense, you will not be ready for what they're bringing to this world. You have answers. You are an answer. You're alive and you're free, and you see freedom because you're an answer. And God's put an answer in you for the people that are around you that don't see it. But if you're going to live in the offense of it, you're dead while you live. Dead while you live. I think it's very easy to get into manipulation, which I avoid. If you start trying to manipulate people to get things done, I've had relationships with people where I've stepped away because I know full well I could manipulate, and I don't want to manipulate. When you love somebody, you step back and you say, I'm here. If you want it, you come. And then we'll dance together. But if it's you being able to manipulate, being able to push, being able to control or force your way in somewhere, then it's not right. When I got that program on Fox, I didn't manipulate them. I just presented facts. I kept my emotion out of it, my offense out of it, and I presented methodical facts of, hey, what about this? And they said, well, we want this. I said, okay. And I would do it. And then I would do it. And then I would do it. And the long story short was I got it on. And the program got on. And I want to encourage you, don't get offended. Don't take offense at what they're doing. Step methodically. Don't be a manipulator, because a manipulating spirit is something that everybody picks up on and they hate it. Don't be a manipulator. Don't be a controller. Be somebody that dances where there's freedom. But you know what? We have to own our own lives, don't we? And it all begins and ends right up here in our spirit and in our mind, where we're saying, am I a victim? If you're where you shouldn't be, doing what you shouldn't be doing with all the wrong people, you're the one to blame. And of course, you can blame all of them and say, they're doing this to me, they're not doing that to me. And what I hear is an immature person that's looking and saying, I will not take responsibility for my own actions and my own life. And take responsibility. It's not what enters into a person that defiles them. It's what comes out of them. You cannot be defiled by others. What they do to you doesn't change who you are. You allow it to change who you are. You allow the offense to come. You allow things to hold you back. But if you rise up and say, this is right, this is something I need to do, I'm going to take a step. You don't know the whole picture, but you know your first step. Follow the peace, as I keep saying. Follow the peace. Take your first step. Take the first step and watch and see if the sky falls in on you. And if it doesn't, take the next step. Take the next step. And before you know it, you're in a good direction, doing good things with the people you should be with and fulfilling your life's purpose and your life's destiny. So, quick encouragement for today. Keep going. Rise up and do what you need to do. Rise up. It doesn't have to be what others are doing. And rise up and be the unique person that God's created you to be, and let that creativity come alive in you. Synergize with those ones that are of similar spirit that will bring out your better than best. When you are your best and you get with that right person, I say this about relationships, marriage, that right woman for me, when I get with her, I'm doing my absolute best, but she will bring out my better than best. Stuff that I wasn't even aware I was capable of, because simply her spirit is there with me. Same with men, with women, same with relationships. Everything that you do, get the right people around you that bring out your better than best. God bless.